pronouncing the short vowels. Okay, so we're going to start with understanding what are the short vowel in terms of their length. So we're going to start with looking at the fatha followed by an alif. Now this gives us a count of 2 lengths, so this would be a. Now the length of the fatha is actually equivalent to, or rather 2 times the length of the fatha is equivalent to the fatha alif. So the fatha is half the length of the alif when used as the long vowel, and that's how it's defined. So the definition really of the length is half the length of the alif, and this is all relative to the speed that you yourself recite. As long as you keep everything relative in terms of half the length or double the length, then that's fine. The kasra is judged against the length of the kasra and the ya, so this is e. So 2 times the length of a single kasra gives you the e. That means that the kasra is half the length of the ya when used as a long vowel. And here we have the dhamma wow, which gives you the oo sound, which is 2 counts. And again, the single vowel dhamma gives you half the length of the wow. So the dhamma is half the sound of the dhamma wow long vowel, and that's how it's judged. So these two are always compared together, and the way it's explained is the alif, the ya and the waw are known as the long vowels, and the fatha, the kasra and the dhamma are half of the length of their counterparts. So now we're going to look at the fatha. Now with the fatha, the jaw movement must be vertical, and this is very, very important, because sometimes in the English language, and this depends if you're American English, what sort of dialect of English you speak, and with the Arabic we must be very careful that when you say any letter with the fatha, the jaw opens vertically downwards, and it's a bit wider than what you would normally do in the English. Now the sound is the a, as in the word cat, if you say the word cat properly in English. Now the kasra is the jaw movement which is vertical and horizontal, but the reason we've highlighted vertical here is because the E sound sometimes in English does not necessarily need the mouth to open as vertically as you do need to do in the Arabic. So the sound of the kasra is really like E in the word feel, if you say feel properly. So if you say the word feel and open your jaws vertically and slightly horizontally. So if you don't open your jaws properly vertically, you'll say feel, which is a lot more flat than feel. So with the Arabic you must make sure that you keep the jaws opening vertically and slightly horizontally. Now with the dhamma, the lips make a round circle and effectively they're open in the middle, i.e. only the right and left sides of the lips touch. And this sounds like the oo in the English word cool, if you say the English word cool properly, and it makes a proper oo sound. And it's very important in Arabic to have that round circling of the lips. Now with all of those three, a trained teacher will look at your mouth movements, and they will tell from whether your mouth is opening in the correct way, whether you're actually pronouncing the short vowels properly. Now there's a method you can use to check your short vowels. Now here we've given some sounds. At the top we have, on the right hand side, the sound of bis. Okay, so if you have the kasra and the ya, you'll say bis. Now when that's shortened, then we have the sound of bis. Now when you're not trained, or you haven't trained your jaws, you will have a tendency to just say bis. Now if you lengthen the sound of bis, now pretending that you're trying to say the kasra, and you double the length, you'll get bis instead of bis. So if you double the length of whatever sound you're saying, you'll check it should still sound like the kasra and the ya. So when you say b and you double it, it still sound like b. And if you say bis and you double it, it will say bis. So it's no longer a kasra. And this takes training of the jaw, so you must make sure you have the real e sound. The next one is moose, and then if you half that to give you just the single dhamma, then it's mus. Okay, so you go from moose to mus. What you don't want to say is mus, because if you double that, you end up with moose, so you lose the oo sound. So you check the pronunciation of the dhamma by doubling the sound. So you say mu, it should go to moo. Okay, so mus should go to moose. And the last one is with the fatha. Now we have mal, and if you half that, it becomes mal, not mal. Mal, if you double it, you get mal, which is too heavy. So with the fatha, if you find you're falling into, or you're making it slightly too heavy, just open the jaws vertically and the lighter sound will come out. So it should be mal, and then shortened is mal. So we have bis, mus, mal. And this is one of the harder things to put into your recitation initially, because it forces you, or you have to force yourself to move your jaws and use your lips properly. And this is what takes a majority of your initial training, especially in semester 1, and your teacher will be checking this very rigorously. So we're going to do a bit of practice with the fatha. Remember, it opens with the jaws the jaws open going vertically, and the sound of the a is as in cat. And here we're talking about the light letters. Later on we'll talk about the heavy letters, which have a slightly different sound. So here we have a few words, and we're just going to do a slight practice of these. Okay, so we have an, am, ta. Then we have iyaka, nasta'in. Then we have maliki. Then we have alhamdu. Then we have ar-Rahman. Okay, so notice we don't make the letters too heavy. So we do not say, for instance, we have iyaka. We don't say iyaka. Okay, or iyaka. It must be iyaka. Yaka. Not ka, not ya. Iyaka. And we have maliki, not maliki. Maliki is too heavy. We say maliki because we need that a sound. A bit of a practice with the kasra. So again, the movement of the jaw is vertical and horizontal, and we should get the e sound as in feel. So we start with alayhim, maliki, Bismillahi. Okay, so the one which is easiest to test yourself on is the Bismillahi. Most people say Bismillahi. So they say bis instead of bis. They say mil instead of mil. So it's Bismillahi, and it requires you to open the jaw slightly more vertical than in English. Now the Dhamma practice. So again, you make a round circle with the lips. Sounds like the oo in cool. So we have here Suduri, Yuwaswisu, Mustaqima, Na'budu. Okay, so we'll do the last one, Na'budu. Now some people say Na'budu. So they go do, which is do, not do. So we want to say Na'budu, Na'budu. So now we're going to practice quick changes in the short vowel sounds, and this again is where you need to really exercise your jaws, and it takes a bit of practice. So listen carefully to the change in the Fatha, Kasra and the Dhamma. Alladhi yuwaswisu fi sudurin nas thumma latus'alunna yawma idhin 'anin na'im lakum dinukum waliyadin wailul likulli humazatil lumazah fawailul lil musallin. And when you're doing this with a teacher, they will check that you don't make any of the fatha too heavy, unless of course they're heavy letters, and that your dhamma is kept as an u and your kasra is kept as a e sound. So that was a lesson in the jaw movement and keeping the precision with your short vowels.